Okay, so let us start. Uh, so today we will do two amplifiers, which is common drain and common gate amplifiers. So we will simulate this in the LT Spice and then see how these amplifiers can be used. So what we will do is we will straight away take a diagram. So the objective of this is basically you need to determine. So first we will see common drain amplifier, and common drain amplifier is also called as a source follower. So we will see why it is called so. Now before we go ahead, let's draw the circuit of this amplifier. So the circuit is like this. So input we are going to still give it at the gate itself. And next this is R1, R2, RS, and we will be taking the output from this point. This is C0. Now let's assign the values. So this is 1 microfarad, this is also 1 microfarad. And this is 162 kilo ohms. This is 750 ohms. So this is your gate, drain and source. And we can have our VTN is always given. Let's say it's 1.5 ohms. So the objective in this problem is to obviously find out what is VGSQ ID and then finally the gain. So now if you see the DC equivalent of this circuit, DC equivalent means you will all the capacitors and the AC inputs. So this circuit actually becomes like this. There is nothing much left in the circuit apart from, so this is your DC circuit. Now, so I'll just write here that this is the DC equivalent. DC equivalents will give me Q point, and DC equivalent would give me the value of GM and voltage gain AV. So let's look at this point now. So in this circuit, you can observe that Vg is equal to R2 upon R1 plus R2 into VDD. So that is going to be 463K upon 162K plus 463K into 12. So can you tell me how much is this value quickly? Everybody should remove their calculators and calculate and tell me what are these values. Come on. Then we have VGS, which is going to be Vg minus Vs. So that is going to be whatever is the value of VGS, Vg minus Id into Rs. So that Id into Rs is actually 750 ohms. So what is this Vg? Come on, quickly calculate that and tell me.
Sir, 8.88.
8.88 volts. Okay. So VGS is going to be 8.88 minus ID into 750. So this is like our one of the equations. Now we also know what is the value of Vg, same 8.88. So what we know is that ID is Kn times of VGS minus VTO the whole square, and ID is Kn is given to us 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 into VGS minus 1.5 the whole square. So this is our second equation. So we'll call this as 1 and this is 2. So this equation comes because in the saturation region, this is always true for a MOSFET, and during amplification the MOSFET has to be in the saturation region of operation. So when you putting 2 in 1, we get so VGS is equal to 8.8896 or 8.88 whatever you have got, minus ID is 4.4 into 10 raised to minus 3 VGS minus 1.5 the whole square into 750. So the only unknown is VGS. So solve the quadratic equation and calculate. Give me two values of VGS. So this is a quadratic in VGS. So what is the value of VGS? VGS1 will be one value, then we'll have VGS2. Whatever values we get, that you will tell me, and then I will substitute in the value of ID. So ID will be Kn into 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 into whatever is the value of VGS minus 1.5 the whole square. Yes, what is the value of VGS1 and VGS2? Post your answers in the chat box. Come on. $7.71. No. VGS cannot be so high. Okay, so I'm just calculating it. So I'm getting the value as
2.91.
correct, 2.9116 volts, and the other value is 1 minute minus 0.
Minus 0.243.
I'm getting 5. So obviously this value is rejected because you cannot apply any gate voltage as negative voltage. So your VGS becomes 2.911. So let's put that 2.911 here and calculate the value of ID. So what is the value of ID? What is the value of ID?
7.96 milliamperes.
7.96 milliamps. Okay, so this also helps us to calculate the value of GM. So GM is 2Kn into VGS minus VTN. There is no square here. So 2 into 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 into VGS is 2.911 minus 1.5. How much is the value of GM?
Is 0.011.
0.011. Okay, that means 11 point something milliamperes, millimoles, sorry. So it will be 11.29 milliamperes per volts, or we can write millimoles. Okay. So this is the DC analysis is complete, and now we are going to see the AC analysis. So let's see the AC analysis. So our initial circuit was like this, please recollect. And the AC analysis, that time we keep only AC components and other things we connect it to ground. So the first step in that is connecting the VDDs to the AC, the supply voltage is to ground. And as you know that the capacitors will offer very low resistance paths to the AC signal. So this is going to be coming here, and here we will show Ci and C0 as short. And now if you see this circuit carefully, R1 and R2 are in parallel. So our circuit now becomes this way. R1, R2 is in parallel. Then we have this thing. We have a MOSFET based. Then we have a RS here. And the drain is connected to ground. So this is drain, gate and source. So in total we can draw the circuit now like this. So now we will replace the symbol of the MOSFET with the model of the MOSFET, and that will fetch us this. So we have V and again we have R1 parallel to R2. Then we have GM VGS. This RS V out, and the drain is connected to the ground. This is plus, minus, this is gate, drain, source, and this is VGS. So now some common observations you can make very easily, that this drain current GM-VGS is also flowing through RS. Okay. So if you look at Vin is the voltage across gate and ground. So between gate and ground you have got is equal to, I'll write, VGS plus Vs, or I will write current flowing through RS is ID itself, and into RS, and this ID is nothing but GM/VGS. So we can write V in is equal to VGS into GM/VGS into RS. So we can also write this as V in as 1 plus GM/RS into VGS. And as far as V out is concerned, V out is simply the voltage across RS. So that is going to be GM/VGS into RS. So here we have two equations, one of V in and the other of V out. And obviously we all know that gain is going to be V out upon V in. So that is going to be GM/VGS RS, this entire thing upon 1 plus GM/VGS into 1 plus GM/RS into VGS. So this cancels out, and what you get here is GM/RS upon 1 plus GM/RS. So your voltage gain is this GM/RS upon 1 plus GM/RS. Now you can see that this term GM/RS is there in the numerator as well as denominator, and this the denominator is greater than the numerator just by 1. So in many cases GM into RS is going to be much greater than 1, and that is the reason why the gain AV is almost equal to 1. The gain is almost equal to 1, but always less than 1. You need to do it. Okay. Now this is something that we have to see, and if you see here, your AV is almost equal to 1, which means V out by V in is almost equal to 1, which means V out is equal to V in. So you can see the voltage at the source. V out is connected at the source, and this is the gate. So the voltage at the source follows the voltage at the input. The voltage at the source follows the voltage at the input, that is the gate, and hence this circuit is also called as source follower. Is called as what? Source follower. So in the exam, if they ask you common drain amplifier, it is source follower only. Or if they ask you what is, draw the circuit of a source follower, it is a common drain circuit only. Now if we use the formula here, we can write AV is equal to, what is the value of GM? So GM was 11.29 into 10 raised to minus 3 into RS was 750. This entire thing upon 1 plus 11.29 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 750. So can somebody tell me what is the value of gain? quickly. What is the value of gain?
Zero point 8943.
0.8943. That is correct. And all of you should observe that this value is less than 1 but close to 1. 0.89 is close to. So such observations you should make so that it is easier for us to apply this later. So let us now simulate this particular circuit. So let's go to take a review of this. So what we did is we calculated VGS, then we calculated the value of ID, then we calculated GM, and then finally we did the AC analysis and we calculated the value of A. So this is something that we need to see through the circuit of the common drain amplifier. So let's open our LT Spice. And say open a new schematic. And save this schematic as the same nick. Common drain amplifier. Okay, so have you all opened the LT Spice? Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now let's see this. It's not a very difficult task, but it's totally fine. So here we will build the circuit. So you can take your NMOS. How many resistances you want? 3. So you want R1, you want R2, and there is one resistance here. And this is your capacitance. And similar capacitance you had here. Let's join it. And this is our voltage. And here we have our V out. So whatever that is, you name it. Don't forget to show the ground. That is the most important connection as such. And we also require like a voltage source to power the device. So this is 12 volts. This is our Vin. And we'll make this as a sinusoidal input. And let's keep it as 50 millivolts and 1 kilohertz. So like I always say, first should be the title. Common drain amplifier. And make it big and bold. I'm going to just change some color preferences. Make it to white. So can you see the circuit now properly?
Yes, sir.
And here we'll be connecting it in this way. So R is 750 and R1 and R2 are how much? 162K and 463 kilo. And this is 1 micro. And this is also 1 microfarads. We can give the notation C in and C out, the same things that we are using in the circuit. So here we are having input as V in, and here we are having it as V out. So this is V out. this, and what we are expected to do is we want like a VTO of 1.5 volts, and we also want Kn. There is no such thing as Kn in SPICE, we have only Kp. So Kp has to be 4 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay. And just for the sake, you can have gate, drain and source to see the values directly at these nodes. So once you are done with this, just write done in the chat box, then we will run the .op. We can write the model here, that is .model NMOS is NMOS with the VTO equal to 1.5 volts and Kp is equal to 4 into 10 raised to minus 3. So this is the way to give the input, and like I told you, here length has to be always half of width. So this should be, let's say 10 microns, this is 20 microns. And now if we try to like simulate this, let's say 5 milliseconds, and okay. Okay, I'll just change the background of this also to white, and here we would like to plot. We have V in and then we have V out. So what you can see is two things. For a CS amplifier, the input and output were 180-degree out of phase. But here, why? Because there the formula of gain was AV is minus GMR. But here, the input and output are in phase. Okay, and input is almost the same as the output. So all of you will first show me this. Come on, put this in the chat box, circuit as well as the waveform. put this in the chat box quickly. In the exam, you have to show like the calculated values are the same as the observed values, and for that is the reason why I showed you the entire calculation. Okay, come on, everybody of you, put your outputs in the chat box quickly. First, I want to see circuit followed by this wave. Okay, Nikhilesh is the first one to do it. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I'll just go little bit ahead. I'm just saving this. So you can see here that this is a transient analysis. So it's a dot tran. Now what I'm doing is I'm just saving this same file. Transient means you can see some cycles. And if you want, you can keep the grid on and check it. Now the same file I am saving it as underscore AC. Okay, so I have renamed the file, and like I told you, I don't like to measure it everything manually, so we are going to write straight away a command to calculate the gain, and I have already shown you this command, that is the dot measure command. And instead of a transient analysis, now we'll go for a AC analysis. Here we have decade, number of points are, let's say, 1000, 1 hertz, stop frequency is 100 megs, let's say. And now what we can do is like calculate this thing. So it is telling you to set the value of to AC1. So good. It is telling us what the error should be. So I'll select this as none, and here AC1. So that is the change. Now I will simulate it. Now you can see here on the x-axis you are having this. Let me just change some colors here. So we want axis you will make it black. Okay, so it's clearly visible, and here I want to see the like output, so you can see the output here. Okay. Now what we will do is we will add two small parasitic capacitances. Like this, and here I will make some space for these two small capacitances like this, and I'm going to join this. Now generally these values, so if you select this, if you go or click on this and select the advanced MOSFET, the one which is already there in our data sheet, then you don't have to show this CGS and CGB. So these capacitances are the overlap, capacitance is CGD, and here we have CGS, and these capacitances are very small, so like they will be like 10 picofarads and something of that in that range only. So why I am showing this is because I would like you to see the frequency response, which is somewhat like this. And if you would want to like measure the bandwidth measurement failed because this graph is going up. It's going up, it's not coming down. So in that sense, we are telling the, so let's make it 20. If you want to see the linear scale, you can see the here that this flattens out at around 1. Okay, so we can measure this. So this value is how much? 894 millivolts. Actually what we are plotting is V out, but actually what we should see here is V out divided by V of V in. Okay, so that is actually your gain, and now you can see here that volts term is gone because now it's a ratio of two voltages. But nevertheless, the value is 8.94, and what we calculated from here is around the same 0.894. So that's fine. So 894 milli is the same 0.894. So our gain is perfect. Okay. And now if you want this to be a little darker, you can go to control panel and go to waveforms and make this width as 4. So you can see that a bit dark. So what you can see is that this amplifier has got a very large bandwidth, okay, because the gain is pretty high. Pretty high as in it is almost 1, and it is 1 for a large bandwidth, for a large range of frequencies. So show me the diagram now like this. Circuit as well as, okay Harsh, your first diagram is perfect. Now show me this. So we have done a like automated measurement here using the dot measure commands. If you want those commands, I will just type it here in the chat box. You can use them. So here you can see that the gain is this much. It's in dBs. So if I convert this to like dBs, I'll get what I am seeing here. So you should observe one thing here, that this line is close to 0 dBs. The log of 1 is 0. So that's why that line is very close to 0 dBs. But it is less than 1. So that's why it is below 0 dBs. And the value of gain in dB is negative. So in the Viva they will ask you, like, if the gain in dB is positive, then the gain is greater than 1 or less than 1. So the answer should be, if the gain in dB is positive, then the gain is greater than 1. If the gain in dB is negative, then the gain is less than 1. And if the gain in dB is 0, then the gain is equal to 1. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Now show me this circuit with this resistance. Even if you don't show this capacitances, it's fine. I mean, still you can show me the simulation. It's not an issue. But I am trying to like make a practical circuit. Okay. So practically these things are very there, but they are very small. So you can see I have selected not the value in farads, but in picofarads, because I know their values are going to be very small. So now what did we do? We did a dot tran analysis. Tran means transient, where you are plotting the signal with time. So now we plotted the signal with the frequency, and we determined the gain of the signal, that is the mid frequency gain. So in your next course in EDC2, I will answer the question that why this fall or why this rise. So this question I can answer only when I teach you frequency response. Okay, so that is there in EDC2, and many times we cannot use CS alone, we cannot use common drain amplifier alone, we cannot use CG amplifier alone. So generally common drain and common gate amplifiers are used in combination with a common source amplifier. Okay, they are used in combination with a common source amplifier. Anyways,
Sir, can you show the circuit?
sorry. Can you show the?
Sir, circuit.
Okay. I think
Yes, sir.
circuit.
Thank you, sir.
So here I am just naming. Come on, quickly do this. Post the circuit as well as the waveforms in the chat box. Now in this circuit here, let's calculate Ri and R0 also. So Ri is R1 parallel to R2 and R0, what will be the value of R0? So first you tell me R1 parallel to R2 is how much? That is 162 162 parallel to 460. How much is this?
So 120.00 kilo ohms.
120 kilo ohms. So let's see that. Now let us do the, so this is the AC analysis. Now I will but nobody has put this common drain AC part in the chat box.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
So it is giving me error.
share the error. What error are you getting? So you click on this source, make it none and put your AC amplitude as 1. Click on this.
Okay, sir.
That is that error. So what you have done is, you can see in the circuit give it a sign. Yes, Harsh, your output is correct. Good. Mithilesh. Okay, your output is now correct. So try to change this scale also and see. Make it linear and you can see that the gain will be the actual value that you have calculated. So you should experience that. Now let's save this as underscore DC. So now I'm copying this dot AC, and inside this itself I'm going to the dot OP, removing everything else. So I'm having a dot OP here now, and again I'm saying run. So when you say again run, you will get everything. But now since you have included a dot OP command with a dot AC command, you will be able to see the VGS, ID and the DC values at each and every point by using the SPICE error log. So now you can see here that ID is 7.97 milliampere. So how much have we got ID? ID is 7.96. Okay, pretty close. Then we have VGS as 2.91. So we have VGS also as 2.91, and GM. Let's see the value of GM. GM is also what we have calculated. So we get all the values like VDS, VGS, VBS, threshold voltage, everything is there in this. You can see here. Okay. So now I want to see these values along with this graph. Come on, show me like this. Circuit, the graph. That's it. So by doing this analysis, you can see gain as well as the DC operating points together. So now any problem comes, when you come across any problem, all you need to do is just punch in the values and get the analysis instead of sitting with the formulas. So as an engineer you should know what are the different formulas, but will you keep on doing this in reality? When you actually go for a job, are you going to calculate this by hand? No, you have to do it using the tool. So these tools you have to use to do the circuit analysis. Okay, good. Okay, Harsh, good, very good. Harsh, but why your values are not matching? Is there some difference in the values?
No, sir, I forgot to change the value of that capacitor. It's 20 picofarad. I have to change it.
No, that should not affect the DC value because DC analysis is nothing to do with the. Let me check. Acha, Harsh, can you do like this for me? See here. Right click on this mouse and show me the size of this device.
Yes, sir.
That should be 20 and 10. Have you said that?
No, sir, I'll do that.
That is why your answer is coming.
Yes.
You said that. Otherwise, what Spice will do is, I'll tell you what is happening in your case. You can see here that the value of this it's not there. The value of GM that we were getting. What was the value of GM that we were getting? 11.29, right? And the GM value that you are getting is lesser. So what is happening is Spice is actually dividing that Kn by 2. So
Yes.
we have given width double of length to ensure that that factor of 2 in the denominator does not affect my equation. Now with that, can you tell me? Prasad, are you getting it?
Sir, the value of
Sir,
length should be 20, no, sir?
Yes. Harsh, go on. Then I will talk to Mithilesh. Yes, sir. Harsh, you are saying something.
No, sir, I was saying the length should be 20, no, sir?
The
The length of that NMOS, which you showed me just now.
what I could not hear you. Sorry.
Sir, the length of, so now,
Length should be 20 microns
yes, sir.
and width should be 20. 10 length should be 10 microns and width should be 20 microns.
Okay, sir.
It can be double, means that ratio has to be 2. That means length can be 20, then width has to be 40.
Okay, sir.
So whatever value you keep, it's fine, but ensure that W by L ratio is 2.
so how to change length and width of NMOS?
How do we?
Change the length and width of NMOS.
How do we change it? Okay. Very simple. You just right click on this and type here 20 and 10. Got it?
So it is giving me some different options.
Show me the options. That is because you have not used NMOS 4. You have used this. See. You went for this MOSFET. NMOS, this one, where body and source are shorted. You should not go for that MOSFET. You should go for this one and physically connect the body to ground, not to the source. That's why the values are different.
Okay, sir.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So I have written here very clearly W by L has to be. Now you are getting the correct values. Good. Nikhilesh, your values are correct. Harsh, you are still changing? Okay, good.
No, sir, I have uploaded that.
It has not yet appeared, but anyways. But are you getting the same values which we have calculated? You already know the right values, right? Because we have calculated it.
Yes, sir, I have posted that screenshot in the chat box.
Adarsh, it is better if you wear a shirt. Or option number 2, keep your camera off. No, you don't have to be sorry for it. I don't think anybody felt bad about it. In fact, everybody might have enjoyed it. Yes or no? So those who have, just give a thumbs up. Nikhilesh and Harsh are giving thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Harsh, you have named this W by L as 20, but you have not yet right clicked on it and set that value to 20 by 10. Blue means it's a comment. You have to right click on this and set here 20 and 10.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let us go for, again save this file. So I'm just saving it as RI. Just save. Okay. Now I will convert this to VTest and I will name this as VTest. So we are now giving a test voltage source here and we are running it. So now what we want to plot here is, see here, we will plot V test divided by I test. So we got this. We'll say don't plot, and here if you plot linearly, here the value that we are getting is, you can see, 120 kilo ohms, and here also we were getting the value as 120 kilo ohms. R naught in the case of this amplifier is going to be 1 by Gm parallel to Rs. Okay, 1 by Gm parallel to Rs. So you can just calculate this value for the time being, and then I will tell you why 1 by Gm, why that 1 by Gm component is. So the value of Gm, there is the value of Gm, 11.29, 1 upon 11.29 into 10 raised to minus 3 parallel with Rs, 750. So what is the value of R0? So now you can see the value of resistance, it's what we have calculated. So come on, plot this Ri. Okay, Mithilesh, answer is right. Come on, others, quickly do it. You have to change the nomenclature here. Retest and retest. Now in the same way, we can also measure R0. So I'll say file save as R0 and remove this from here and connect it on the output side. So now you have to make V in 0 and apply the V test on the output side, run it, and then add trace here. You can say V test divided by I test, and say don't plot phase, and here so now one thing you should see here, that the output impedance of this circuit is very low. It is something, it's few ohms. Okay. It's just few ohms. So let's see what that value is. So if you just see, this value is around 80 ohms, 79 to 80 ohms. You can see here. Now what this is, so why this is used, So if you want to like connect a speaker to an audio jack, okay, you're connecting a speaker to your audio jack of the phone, then the speaker is the load, and the speaker will have an impedance of something like 4 ohms or 8 ohms or 10 ohms, like that. Max to max it will have 100 ohms. So if you want to match the output impedance of the amplifier to the speaker, why it is important to match? Because then only maximum power transfer will take place. So whatever power amplifier has generated, that will get transferred to the speaker only when you match the loads. So common drain amplifier is generally used after common source because it does not affect the gain of the common source, but it offers impedance matching. So that is the main role of the common drain amplifier, that is to match the impedance with the actual load. So if you try to like connect a speaker directly to an amplifier, it will not amplify, or you will not see an amplified sound, because though you are generating the power, your output impedance is not matched to the impedance of the speaker. So maximum power transfer does not take place, and for that to happen, you have to create something in between which will do this, and common drain amplifier or source followers can actually do this. So this is the main use of the common drain amplifier. Now whether this 80 ohms is correct or not, who knows, because this is actually the formula, but how did this formula come? Okay, so here I will introduce something new to you, that is, so you must have heard about source transformation theorems. You can convert a current source to a voltage source, or you can convert a voltage source to a current source. But when you connect a voltage controlled current source in parallel with the voltage controlling it, then you can replace that by an impedance, and that is called as source absorption theorem. It is called as source absorption theorem. So let us start with like the model of the MOSFET. So we are having this. Okay. So here the value is like GM-VGS. So this is gate, drain, and sorry, this is drain and this is source. And here you have plus minus. Now what we can do is, we can take this particular circuit and write it in this way. So we can connect. Can we connect two current sources in series? Basic BW. Can we connect two current sources in series? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, we cannot connect. We can connect provided there is a node. So this is something new for you. So if I insert a node, then at that node incoming current is equal to the outgoing current. So this arrangement is okay. But two current sources in series are not okay. I mean without a node, okay? Without a node, that is not allowed. Now I can take this circuit. Again, I am not violating any KVL or KCL. I introduced a node. And now I can join this like this. So I am joining the gate to the drain, but the current in this branch is always 0. So I will always mention here Ig is equal to 0. Now you can see here, this is a current voltage controlled current source and the controlling voltage is VGS. So the same VGS is coming across this current source. The controlling voltage VGS is coming across that control current source, and that is why by source absorption theorem, if you actually get a circuit somewhere like this, so if you get a current source and if the controlling voltage, so if this is Ix, which is equal to Gm into Vx, and if this controlling voltage Vx comes across it, then this arrangement can be converted into a resistance whose resistance value is Zx, and Zx is going to be Vx upon Ix, and you can see Zx, Vx is how much? Vx itself, and Ix is Gm times of Vx. So this cancels out. So Zx is going to be 1 by G. So this theorem is called as source absorption. Okay. Now something similar we have here. So in this case, so we can replace this. We can replace this current source by an impedance and the value of this impedance is 1 by G. So now if you draw this little bit properly, you can see here that we are having a current source GMVGS, then we are having a impedance, then we are having a source, on this side you are having a drain, in between you are having a node, here you are having your gate, but we have to mention certain things. The gate current Ig is always 0, and here the voltage drop is VGS, and the value of this resistance is 1 by G. So this model of the MOSFET is called as T model. This model is called as T model, and the model which we started with is called as Phi model. So they are the similar representations. Now I will use this T model. I will use this T model to actually calculate the value of R0. So what I'll do is I'll take this thing, I'll put it here. Okay, so this is my model. Now at the gate we are applying what? So at the gate we are having R1 parallel to R2. So calculation of R0. Then we have V in, but when we calculate R0, my V in is connected to ground. Then drain by default is connected to VDD. So it is grounded only. And here we are having RS. And here we have V out. So here you can see now that gate is as good as connected to ground. So RS is connected between source and ground, and 1 by GM is also connected between source and a node which is connected to gate, and gate is connected to ground. So this means that if I look at the resistance from this side, I will see R0 will be 1 by GM parallel to RS. So it is easy to visualize this with the T model, but in the books they directly write this 1 by GM parallel to RS. Now can somebody tell me what is the calculated value of R0? Would you like to copy this?
Yes, sir.
So you can see that R0 is very low. Okay, so typically R0 will be something like 20 ohms to 100 ohms. And this is the same range in which our speakers and all are manufactured. Okay, so generally what is the topology? The topology is like this. We give the input here. Then this is my CS. Then this output of CS, I'll give it to a CD, that is source follower. And here I'll get V out. So let's say here the gain is AV, which is greater than 1, and here AV is almost equal to 1. So common drain amplifier, so this is AV1 and AV2. So the net gain AV is actually AV1 into AV2. So you can see that this gain is roughly equal to AV1 only, because AV2 is almost equal to 0. So what this does is, here we have high RO. Here we have high RO. So common drain amplifier can translate this high RO to a low RO. And here we can connect our speaker or something, load. Because load is generally having a low input impedance. So to match the impedance of the load with the impedance of the amplifier, we use this common drain amplifier. So if you are actually planning to make an amplifier and connect a speaker to it, you cannot use only CS. You have to go for CS-CD. That is what I mean to say. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
So I'll just go at the top. First, you write this source absorption. First, you write these steps. So this is step number 1. This is 2. This is 3. And this is 4. So here this step is like inserting a node. Okay. Then you are adding the branch from G to X. So still the KCL is satisfied at this node. Incoming currents are IG and GM VGS. Outgoing current is this GM VGS. But IG is 0. So at this node, we are not violating KCL. After this, we are applying source absorption theorem. And then when you apply here the source absorption theorem, that time you get the T mod. So you can add one more theorem to your list of theorems in circuit design. Can you tell me what is the calculated value of R0? Yes, what is the value of this R0? So I want to know the calculated value.
So 79.21.
79.21.
21.
So it is close, na? It is close to our value. So today you came to know how to calculate RI, R0, AV. Okay. So I hope you have copied the derivation and all. Any part you want to still write? Okay, so next class we will see the common gate amplifier. Okay, that is on coming Friday we will do this, and then we will do a small part which is remaining, which is the rectifiers and filters. So I think within 2 weeks or 1 week and an extra lecture should do the job. Let's see. We will not hurry, but try and focus on the concepts. Okay? They are really very important. So you something studying something on your own, and I being there during your study will definitely make a different impact. So that's it from me for today.